Hi, Lyndon here. This is just a short video just beginning to explore how you can safely, for want of a better word, come up with some improvised lead guitar patterns. Sometimes when people, maybe not have been playing guitar for very long or sometimes even for years, they look at someone on TV or on a video playing lead and they think, wow, how can that happen? Now, not taken away from this, there's always skill involved, and depending on the type of guitar, solo, lead playing, there may be an incredible amount of skill. However, all guitar players, famous or otherwise, work from a very similar set of basic systems. Okay, the one thing about music and guitar playing is that things are very much logically related, almost mathematical, if you like. But anyway, just to try and demonstrate something, it's really helpful to know the names of notes on your fretboard. And at least if you can learn the names of the notes going up the first string, which is also going to be the same as the sixth string, that's really helpful. Okay, so on the first string here, it's open E, then F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and A. That's at the 5th fret. Carrying on, we've got B flat, or otherwise known as A sharp, B, C. Between B and C and between E and F, there is only going to be one fret. Just like on a piano, if you look at a piano keyboard, there are no black notes between E and F and B and C. Here's C, 8th fret, C sharp or D flat, D, D sharp or E flat, and 12th fret, you're back to E. So you've gone through what we call a complete octave, okay? We've gone from one E to another. Okay, so let's look at for a moment key of G. Now, first of all, we need to think about a G chord. And I'm also going to be talking about this in the context of songs, pieces of music that use pretty basic chord structures, okay? So if I wanted to make up a little bit of a lead pattern to go along with something that someone was playing along in the key of G, so let's say they were just doing a 12 bar, if you like, in the key of G. So using the chords G, C, back to G, and D, C, G. Okay, we could simply use what I refer to as the safe notes. This goes back to, if you're familiar at all with Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, the major scale, you may have learned that in school. You can use those notes to play along with a backing, if you like. But there are two of the ones in that major scale, and that's Fa and Ti, that you want to avoid if you want to be sure of it not sounding horrible. So the 4th and the 7th notes of that major scale. So if we're playing in G, the scale would be G, A, B, C is the 4th note. That will be the one to avoid. D, E, F sharp, and G. Oh, look what I just did there. I used my 3rd finger. Well, no, that was okay. Anyway, so you want to avoid that F sharp note, and you'd want to avoid that C note if you're just playing along. Let's go here, the higher register. Okay, here's G. I'll actually go down the major scale this time. So G, F sharp, so we want to avoid that one. E, D, C, we want to avoid that one. That's the 4th note of the scale. B, A, and G. So we can use G, E, D, B, A, and G. Was that a great piece of music? Probably not, but it didn't sound horrible, right? There were no discordant notes in there, and that's because we avoided the 4th and 7th notes of that scale. Okay? Here's the other part of this. And you know, this is a tricky concept to get a hold of, okay? So, but fortunately it's on video, so hopefully you can rewind it as many times as you need and then look up many resources online, I'm sure, to add to this. Most of our Western music is based on a combination of music, if you like, from the past. A lot of rock and roll, and actually country too, is based on the blues. Now, blues does not use that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do scale. Blues uses a different scale, which many people refer to as a pentatonic, meaning there are 5 notes in it, or a hexatonic, which means 6. The only difference is whether or not you count the root note, the higher root note, if you like. In other words, in the key of E, here's my open 6th string, we can use E, we can use G, which is Ma, if you like, if you were trying to relate it to that major scale. It's not do, re, it's not re or mi, it's in between, it's Ma. Then we'd use Fa in actual fact. So, and we've got a flattened T, which we'll call Ta, and there's your other E note now. So in the blues one, we are using that Fa, which is the one we were avoiding in the other kind of music, what I would refer to as diatonic style of music. The other thing about blues is we can bend the notes. So again, I'm going to go the higher register here, okay? So we're playing now in the key of E. We can use E itself. We can use this G note here, but we can bend it. We can use D. We can use B. We can use A. We can use the G there and E to go up. And I'll finish on an E, because if we don't finish on the root note of the song or tune, in other words, if a song's in the key of E, we generally want to finish on an E. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but hey, I was using the notes that were actually common to both of those types of scales, okay? So here's the good news. Those notes can be for a, what I call a diatonic kind of tune, or in the key of G, or they can be a blues style solo in the key of E. Here's that B7 come in. Anyway, that's just some very basic information, and I'm sure it's very confusing. You'll need to hear it a few times there, and as I say, I'll hopefully develop another video that's maybe with a backing track to go along with it, but for now, at least, that's something to begin thinking about. Using safe notes, but bearing in mind there are 2 styles of music which combine in our Western music. I mean, a lot of our Western music is a combination of the sort of diatonic scale stuff, the major scale, if you like, and the blues.